I didn't have that many sales when it came to that single offering when it came to teachables. Every now and then I'll probably get a few students, but nothing crazy as far as like, having multiple students at one time signing up for this actual program. Or once I started working with Millen, it kind of exploded. There were certain months where we were going ahead and, bringing in $20,000, $30,000. I think our biggest month was like $30,000.
So how much total revenue were you at after working with us?
I think it was close to like 65, 70.
Can you give a quick introduction of who you are and kind of what you do for everyone that's watching?
So my name is Emanuel. I go by Emanuel Los Angeles on social media most of the time. I am currently an Amazon FBA seller. Currently now scale brands, buy brands. Secondary, I do also do coaching as well, which basically helps both brand new sellers that are looking to get in the space of Amazon FBA build their first brand, or also going ahead and, scaling their current businesses and, identifying bottlenecks in their actual business and kind of scaling it out that way. Basically, I live and breathe Amazon FBA.
So can you tell us exactly kind of where you were before working with me and kind of where you are after in terms of like your offer and like your whole coaching program as a whole, like overall?
Yeah, definitely. So I never put too much weight when it came to a coaching offer per se. So before I used to just create my journey when it came to Amazon FBA, tell people like viewers on YouTube specifically only, as far as like what I do in my day-to-day basis, what helped me scale, what helped me grow my businesses, basically documenting every step of the way from when I basically first got started with Amazon FBA until where I am now. But it was nowhere near where it was at when I started offering one-on-one coaching and everything like that. I would say that I didn't have any funnels. I didn't know any information as far as how that worked. I only just relied on my actual businesses, which was building these actual brands.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what were you kind of exactly offering beforehand, before we kind of met and we were working together on getting a one-on-one offer?
It was just a standard teachable course, which was just going ahead and, people, whenever they'd watch my YouTube videos, just having the link in the bio. It was just a teachable course of like, dated information as far as like recordings that I had previously done before. But that was basically all I had.
Okay, cool. And how much did that cost at the time?
I think that course was like about $1,000 to go ahead and kind of just have the video access to it.
Okay, cool. So that was just video material, no one-to-one access, like no real funnel, no real offer, just kind of a course on a landing page, correct?
Yeah, definitely. That's basically what I was used to going ahead and seeing in the YouTube space, especially previous course that I previously bought, I'm sorry. So yeah, which is a standalone thing, no one-on-one access, none of that.
Okay, cool. That makes a lot of sense. And then essentially before you had that, just the standalone course, no one-on-one access, $1,000. After working with me, what was it kind of looking like in terms of your offer and your service after that?
Millen kind of set up the entire back-end process of it, did all the research as far as like what would work, who my current target market is, the customer avatar, building out these funnels, trying out different things as far as like what worked with my target audience, as far as the funnel. So basically just like building out an infrastructure of being able to kind of funnel in people into the coaching program and then offering a specific one-on-one type of mentorship.
That makes a lot of sense, man. So where were you in terms of revenue growth from the $1,000 course to the high ticket offer?
Yeah, definitely, man. So I didn't have that many sales when it came to that single offering when it came to teachables. Every now and then I'll probably get a few students every single month, but nothing crazy as far as like, having multiple students at one time signing up for this actual program. Or once I started working with with Millen, it kind of exploded, right? And there's certain months where we were going ahead and, bringing in $20,000, $30,000. I think our biggest month was like $30,000.
Yeah, $32,000. So how much total revenue were you at after working with us?
I think it was close to like 65, 70.
What were some of like the main challenges that you kind of faced before? Because I did remember you telling me that you wanted to go ahead and you always wanted to kind of expand a little bit beyond just the regular course and actually go charge higher ticket, right? So what was the challenges when it came to putting together something that was higher ticket?
I always knew that there was opportunity in the space as far as like making more money and extracting value out of my actual audience. I guess the biggest issue was like me not focused on that realm, as far as going ahead and trying to onboard people. I just didn't have the time to kind of build out these actual funnels.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So would you say that there was anything that you kind of were unaware of not knowing how to do or not knowing how certain things work that also were playing into having, a big impact on the main challenges?
Yeah, I mean, I guess with high ticket, it makes sense, right? Like there's so many touch points and this and that goes into, trying to onboard somebody. So if I did it myself, there would be absolutely no way for me to actually build out what Million built out, right? It's like going ahead and hiring the right people to have a closers, appointment setters, these different types of VSLs. So there's just so many intricacies as far as like, the touch points that you give to a prospect, that I would have no idea or even have
Yeah.
time to figure out that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So like time and knowledge and just implementation essentially were like the main challenges that you would say that you faced before working with us.
Yeah, for sure. That aspect.
100%. 100%. That makes a lot of sense, man.
Cool.
So basically, how much time did you have to kind of spend on everything on your end while working with us? Like what responsibilities did you have and what was everything that we took care of and, kind of everything that you had to handle on your end?
On the front end, there was not much. Millen would go ahead and give me different things or tasks to go ahead and do as far as like posting the different types of content. So just structuring out that type of content afterwards, which I'm already doing the content anyway. So it's just time dedicated to go ahead and just allocate it differently. But as far as like qualifying and interviewing and having the sales call, there was no more time sucked into going ahead and doing that. Portion of my time now dedicated to actually fulfilling, what was promised in the actual sales call. Is basically what I did.
So like what about when it comes to like building the funnels, like scripting VSLs, like all that type of stuff? How much time did you kind of have to put into all of that type of stuff?
None, because Millen took over all that. As far as like the research, what worked, what didn't. Obviously, there's always testing phases, but during that testing phase, there's so many different things that you want to go ahead and do. Millen went ahead and took care of all of that.
What would you say surprised you the most about going ahead and working with someone like me that handles all of this stuff on the back end fully done for you? Like, did you kind of have any misconceptions or doubts before you went ahead and started working with us?
This was completely brand new to me, so how we kind of structured it in a way, I kind of felt it was more risk free than anything else,
Mhm.
just because that business was not pulsing, right? So by going ahead and implementing different things and having your growth and hunger to go ahead and try and make things work, I kind of put myself at ease as well.
That makes a lot of sense, man. So with the results that you got, the results that we were able to get you, were you kind of surprised with those? Like, did you expect being able to make that much money, with the following that you have, kind of the presence that you have, all that type of stuff, and especially of the time frame and everything? Like, were you surprised about those results at all?
I don't think I was surprised by the results because, based on my content and based on people that go ahead and have viewed my channel for a long time, I had a lot of seasoned type of prospects, right? Like people that have watched me, watched my journey from the very start, and
Mhm.
I've had results, right? Like I'm one of those few sellers that actually show and prove the results that I've actually had. So I wasn't necessarily
100%.
surprised by the entire process itself. I think what I was surprised on was the amount people were willing to go ahead and pay.
Yeah.
But I think it comes with that, being able to go ahead and nurture these people for such a long period of time,
Mhm.
and finally offering something that you get really limited access to and have one-on-one hand holding.
Yeah.
As far as that's concerned, that once I did open it up, the surprise was there as far as how much demand there currently was.
Yeah, 100%. So you would say like you didn't expect yourself, to have people that were willing to pay multiple four figures to, just be able to spend a couple hours with you and just kind of have your help.
Yeah, yeah. I was definitely surprised at that, but that kind of teaches like people that, it doesn't really matter how much following you have, it's the
Yeah.
type of following you have.
That's one of the biggest things that I try to stress because a lot of people think you need to be viral to even make close to what we made. But you did it with 3,000 followers, under 3,000 followers. When we started, you had like 2,200, and now you have like 2,600, 2,500. So if you can do it, then anybody can do it. It's all just about the process behind it, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And sometimes you don't even want to go viral just because you get the wrong people into, your
Yeah.
ecosystem as well.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like that one time we went ahead and we got a bunch of followers that came and we didn't book any calls from them because they were all from another coaching program. They were all from another person's info product already. So they weren't really looking to buy. They just added to the number count and it just looked a little nice. That's all.
Yeah, definitely. So that's another thing, right? It's like when you have big volume, it can be a time sucker one and a money waster as well. So it's like being able to understand exactly who's following you, who your ICP is or customer
Yeah.
avatar is, and just making content for them. Because we can go ahead and kind of stress as far as like me compared to other people that are offering the same exact service is that I'm more family oriented. I don't go ahead and flex anything else. And those people, align with me based on the video content that I go ahead and make.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's all about finding kind of the audience that resonates with you. And I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people don't really understand on how to kind of do, right? So next question I want to kind of go ahead and ask you is if someone was on the fence or 50-50 about working with me, what would you say to that person?
I would say this, like align with your own goals, right? Like if it's really growth, Millen is your guy, right? Like me and Millen we'll go ahead and always continue working with each other in the future. And I always vouch for actual like working with actual Millen. But sometimes it's like self-reflection. If you really want to grow your actual, coaching program, Millen's the guy to go ahead and do that. Like he's proven over and over again as far as like or having this me be his case study is one of those things where like it's going to go ahead and work out. So if you are on the fence about it, go ahead and contact Millen. His systems actually do work, and I'm a testament to that. And we can go ahead and show proof of screenshots and client success and this and that to go ahead and prove that. So if you're aligned with growth and actually going ahead and making money, Millen's your guy. I would say that Millen walks the walk and talks the talk as well, right? It's like one of those things where like um I really wasn't stressed out as far as like Millen not putting up his end of the bargain. I always knew that he's researching, testing, figuring out different things to go ahead and do in my business. And I've told Millen this 100 times, is that at some point in time I didn't want to let Millen down, right? So like I would go ahead and continuously put up my side of the bargain and go ahead and work because I just didn't want to let him down, knowing how much he put into this actual coaching program.
Yeah, that means a lot to me, man. I appreciate that. I remember a lot of times you told me like, I'm doing this because I don't want to let you down. I was like, bro, like this supposed to be the other way around. So essentially over here, just before we wrap it up, I just want to kind of ask you like any final thoughts that you have or anything that you'd like to tell the viewers at all.
Yeah, I think more so with Millen and with working with Millen is that I mentioned it over and over again. Like this guy will put in the work to go ahead and do that. And at the end of the day, it's like you as a coach or you going ahead and selling some info type of product have to understand that you also have to put in your side of the bargain as well, right? And that's going ahead and fulfilling what Millen is going to go ahead and offer. That's pretty much all I have to say.
That makes a lot of sense, man. Would you say that like when it comes to someone who is doing this all on their own, right? Like let's say someone like you before you started working with someone like me, what would you kind of say to someone like that who's in your shoes, like, I don't know, let's say a couple months ago, where they're managing everything, they're posting content, they're doing fulfillment, they're trying to come up with an offer, they're trying to build a funnel. What would you say to that type of person? Because you were once in their shoes as well, right?
Yeah, I would say this. You're underestimating the amount of money you can extract from your current viewers right now. And for me, before I worked with Millen, I didn't post on Instagram. I didn't really post on TikTok either. I would go ahead and just post on YouTube, which is just such a small segment of what my clients were. So by going ahead and working with Millen and kind of opening that door, making sure my BSL was on check, making sure my ICP was in check, and knowing exactly what to post, and Millen going ahead and doing all of that has literally helped me out as well. Millen takes care of all of that.
100%, man. So yeah, that's about it. I appreciate you hopping on this call. And yeah, unless there's anything else that you want to add, that's all for me.
No, that's good, man.